Go ahead and take a surf to robertburns.org and find to Haggis and print it out so that you can follow this discussion. Burns' online encyclopedia informs us that the address or apostrophe to Haggis was apparently written by Burns soon after his arrival in Edinburgh in 1786, possibly for a dinner at the house of Andrew Bruce, a merchant friend. This seems more probable than the legend that it was composed extempore during the dinner at the house of John Morrison, a Mauchline cabinet maker. It was the first of Burns's poems to be published in an Edinburgh periodical. It was really the only work of note and merit to come from his Edinburgh sojourn, which perhaps suggests that Burns required either labour, the countryside, or both to inspire his muse. Much of the rest of his Edinburgh output is in stilted English. While Burns was exceedingly skilful in the use of English prose, his epistolary output convinces us of that, it does seem to hamstring his muse. Some of his early works also relied on an Augustan tone, and these are similarly artificial of feeling, unlike famous Ferguson, who caused Burns to restring his rustic lyre with emulating vigour. He could not so easily bend the English tongue to his whimsy. But to our tale. Homecoming Scotland's website informs us that the Haggis has become a unique and symbolic part of our national tradition, identity and culture in the last 200 years. To be sure, the poem is usually performed in a very theatrical and flamboyant manner for such a humorous work. However, it goes on to state that, at the time, Britain was experiencing a political struggle between Scotland and England, which is regarded as the main reason why the poem was written. As a uniquely Scottish product, the Haggis is used as a way to symbolise the Scottish nationalism in a proud, however light-hearted way. Now, I'm not so sure that this holds water. At the time of writing, Haggis was not, I am sure, seen as anything even vaguely resembling a Scottish icon, and certainly not unique. Practically every country in the world has a close equivalent, including Malkenbruy from the Netherlands, Shereta and Jarella from Spain, and even Faggis and Hogs Puddings from England. Wikipedia lists 33 close equivalents. Burns's real motive for the poem, to my mind anyway, was almost entirely tongue-in-cheek. And if there were a political message, it was this: we may have bugger all, but we're hale and hearty for all that. As Burns had earlier stated in the Twa Dugs, burly chiels and clever hezzies are bred in sic a way as this is. Although there are a number of literal translations in the web, I'd like to take you behind the veil and explain something of what the poem means, at least to me. The opening stanza: fair for your own sonsy face, great chieftain of the pun race. Good luck to your open, cheerful face. People with such a visage in Scotland are frequently called pun face. Well, whether this predates Burns or not, I don't know. But what he's saying is that you're the best of a bad bunch and deserve to be considered far superior to either barely fat, stomach lining, page, tripe, or therm intestines, what eventually evolved to become what we consider in Scotland as link sausages. You're therefore well entitled to the kind of canonical graces which Old Licht preachers in Ayrshire were so fond of, as Burns bewailed to the Reverend John McMath, are 3 mild prayers and half mild graces. The groaning trencher, so substantial a meal as this that the very plate quakes under your strain, Hardies or buttocks, your heirs, like distant hill. Now this next line is contentious for me because I think it can be taken 2 ways. Normally people take pin very literally and think that a pin ought to be used to prick the haggis skin to prevent it from bursting. This is rubbish and actually more likely to cause it to burst. A wooden pin was originally used to hold the stomach together, and it could be that such a pin could have been used to secure a millstone in place, especially if the particular species that Burns was addressing had a less than genteel look about it. However, I believe there could be still one more explanation. The kind of oatmeal used in haggis is known as pinhead or pin oatmeal, and sometimes just as pin. If a mill, as a going concern, was about to go under, could it be that a stipend of pin generously donated by the haggis may save the mill from foreclosure? The final lines are quite self-explanatory if unlikely. The fat which distills through the carcass tastes every bit as sweet as whisky. See the farm worker clean his blade to carve the meal for his family in an un-too fancy manner, trenching your gushing on throws brick like going a ditch. The final line is frequently misquoted. You'll notice that warm reeking is hyphenated. The implication is that it's a homely smell, a warm smell, not that it's hot and smelly. Horn indicates the cutlery used, and you can imagine a family getting torn about the haggis, not standing in ceremony until their appetites are quite sated, their wheels swung, kites alive, are bent like drums. The good man is the head of the family, and his belching is seen as giving credence to the quality of the meal in much the way a Raja might. I was recently quizzed on the next stanzas. Is there is a device used frequently by birds to truncate a postulation. In other words, the implication is this: does a fellow exist who could happily sit down to a plate of ragout, olio or fricassee, all of which were at the time fashionable dishes, but made from no less distasteful ingredients, and yet would turn his nose up at this poor man's fare? What a poor specimen he is. Weak and insipid on this poorer fare of his legs emaciated, his hands of no account. He never managed to escape the vagaries of the Scottish climate, or indeed should he wish to run from battle, he would never escape poor Goodman, who has been well fed on the substantial haggis. The very ground quakes with his approach, and when he's handed his good claymore, he wields it with such vigour that he is capable of hewing down all in his path. The last line might be fatuous or it might be patriotic, but it certainly is evocative. The thistle is a strong, virulent and unrelenting plant, but capable of yielding most tender down, the perfect symbol for our nation. Burns is very democratic in his beliefs and almost always prefers to leave his deity unnamed, a very wise marketing strategy if you want to be seen as a universal poet. The last stanza is as much a challenge as anything else. I'm quite certain that many of the fashionable dining rooms of Edinburgh would have far preferred the skinking ware than Jobson Lucky's, but the contamination of Scotland's festive boards with continental meals was something that Burns certainly didn't wish for. It was less the ragout he had no time for, as it was the fobs who desired to eat it, the ruination of whom certainly would win Scotland's peasantry's grateful prayers.